burn line on a well-crafted cigar is straight and sharp as a razor, much like our wit and wisdom. All right, you guys ready? What is up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, over the age of 21? You are listening to Burnline Podcast, coming to you not live from the Hot Box, the smoky back room where deals are struck and fortunes are made, adjacent to the Phoenix Room, nestled amongst the complex of rooms that comprise tobacco on Main Street, Westminster, Maryland, USA. I'm Johnny Midas.
And I'm El Fumo.
I'm Tom.
Hi, Tom.
Hi, Tom.
Today we are smoking the Seven Temples 5-Star Fist of Shaolin, my Blackwork studio, and I'm going to hold this up for the camera.
Yeah, say that 3 times fast.
Yeah, that is pretty cool and shiny. So, what we're going to do is we're going to clip this, light it, get smoking on it, and then I'm going to tell everybody about it. So, it's a lot of information, and I don't want to go through too much before we start smoking it. So, this is a sampler. Why don't you gents pick out what you want to smoke, and we will get started. So, there's 3 brand lines in this: the Killer Bee, the Green Hornet, and the Shaolin. And there are multiple expressions, which is to say experimental blends of those 3 lines. So,
Did you want that one?
nope, go ahead. All right, so you've got a Shaolin, and Tom, you've got
The Killer Bee Connecticut Broadleaf.
Yeah, I have
all right, so I'm going to try to find the Green Hornet, and then we'll smoke one of each. Okay, so that goes in there. All right, so now there's a lot more than 3 sticks, but there are 3 brand lines.
Right.
So we each have one. You've got Shaolin, I've got the Green Hornet, and you've got the Killer Bee. Okay, so why don't we go ahead and start smoking these, and then I will walk everybody through what it is that we're smoking. The official cutting is brought to you by Lord Baltimore Distributors. The official cutting is brought to you by Lord Baltimore Distributors. Featuring proprietary blends available nowhere else, Lord Baltimore Distributors are meticulously crafted boutique cigars made in small batches for every palate. Lord Baltimore Distributors, when only the best will do. And as always, we remind you to clip that cigar with authority. No limp-wristed cutting allowed. Now, you guys will probably notice that these offerings are 50-50, closed foot or regular. And it looks like you got a closed foot.
Yep.
Tom?
Mine is open.
And mine is open as well. So.
Yeah. Open foot with a Candela.
Yep. Some of these, like on the Green Hornet, these little strips of Candela, that's just a strip. It's not like there's layers of wrapper leaf wrapped together to make that, which would be insane.
It's the whole bee aesthetic, which is kind of cool that they do that.
Yeah, it makes it look like a hornet's ass. So. All right, let's get these lit, and I'm going to use my soft flame butane torch. You've got a
The old trusty Vortex.
quad flame, and
The Unkillable Jetline Quad.
the official lighting is brought to you by 2C Premium Coffee. Keep your day fueled with delicious coffee from 2C Premium Coffee. Featuring select beans from Bali, Kenya, Ethiopia, and around the world, 2C Premium utilizes continual roasting, so you are always getting a truly fresh cup of premium coffee. 2C Premium Coffee, morning made us. And as always, we remind you, toasted, not roasted. Treat that cigar with the love and respect it deserves, and it will return the flavor. I'm just getting mine nice and toasted.
By the way, since I do have a closed foot, I gave it a little touch just so I could smoke it.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, that's not bad. Holy shit.
What's interesting, though, is the leaf that you're smoking on the closed foot is not your wrapper leaf.
Right.
So, really, to me, an interesting expression there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, they're fucking awesome. Surprisingly, not a vegetable bitter, like most candelas, like Arturo Fuentes Candela. Like that was the, not that it was bad, it was just like really, really strong bitter.
All right, so why don't I go ahead and tell you about what's available in the sampler, then I'll tell you about the sampler as we start to sort of puff on these. Right, so here's what's in the sampler. Blackwork Studio Killer Bee Connecticut Pyramid 5x54. Blackwork Studio Killer Bee Maduro Pyramid 5x54. Blackwork Studio Killer Bee Sumatra Pyramid 5x54. Blackwork Studio Shaolin Candela / Ecuador Maduro Bellicoso. That is a barber pole.
Take a shot.
Blackwork Studio Shaolin Habano Ecuador Maduro Bellicoso. Blackworks Studio The Hornet Pyramid Pennsylvania Broadleaf 5x54, which is what I'm not. I'm smoking the San Andres. And the Blackwork Studio The Hornet Pyramid San Andres 5x54. So that is what's in this sampler pack. And I am smoking the San Andres on purpose. Smoked a couple of the other ones. Here's what I like about them. They actually tell you what they are on the band.
Yeah.
So shout out to James and Blackwork Studio, because we've smoked some other samplers. We're like, God damn it, what's what?
Yeah.
You know?
Call our friends at Tatawahe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have to look that up.
It's like the chocolate sampler you get during the holidays, and you don't know what's what, and then you get the coconut, by accident. So what have you got?
Okay, so
No, I mean, on the label, what does it say?
oh, it says Shaolin Habano.
Okay, so you got the Habano.
Yeah.
And Tom, you got the Killer Bee what?
The Killer Bee Connecticut Broadleaf
All right.
Pyramid. Oh, it's a fun shape. It kind of, like I'm a fan of Drew Estate's nasty shape. When I saw it, it instantly also made me think of some of Rummercraft's works.
Yeah.
Because they like to do the same thing with the little bands all the way around, and they make funny shapes. And it works like a flavor funnel.
Yeah, I really like the Pyramide. There's a story behind that in the Bellicoso, which I'm about to get to. But I do like this Vitola. Except near the end, it starts to go out and stuff like that, but it's fine. All right, so what is this sampler? Well, first of all, it's the first Blackwork Studio cigars that we've smoked on the show.
Yes.
After years of the show. But we're all kind of fans. Now, they're small and powerful, strong cigars, typically. So I don't smoke them that often because I'm more on the mellow side. I like my cigars light, aromatic, flavorful, that sort of thing. But they're really good.
Yeah. And they're kind of not hard to acquire, but they're not really on the shelves or in the area.
Yeah, they're, what do you call it? Boutique.
Boutique.
And so maybe we're letting some of our listeners know for the first time about this brand, hopefully. So this particular sampler is limited to 1,000 boxes, and it was first made available to retailers at PCA 2025 in New Orleans. They shipped middle of October, so these are still pretty new. So it includes 2 each of various interpretations of the Killer Bee, Green Hornet, and Shaolin, and 4 of a couple. So these are handmade at Fábrica Oveja Negra in Esteli, and the Vitolas, the Pyramide and Bellicoso, are meant to pay homage to Shaolin temples. And then the sampler kind of is meant to represent old school martial arts movies, which were often like bundled together.
Back in the 70s when everybody was kung fu fighting.
Yeah,
That's right.
yeah.
Bruce Lee popped out.
And they do one of these things. This is very good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The dubbing was phenomenal.
Yeah, the dubbing left something to be desired, as did the wires.
But it was kind of fun. It was the cheesiness.
They were fucking fun. They still are.
Yeah.
And I have got, in the theaters, you would go see features back to back, right? You paid for one ticket and got to see 5 short, So I've got a couple of DVDs like that where they took the original movies and turned them into DVDs. And there's like 5 movies on one.
Yeah.
They're just not long
Right.
movies. Some of them, I think there's something lost in translation, like culturally. But I always interpreted them as like the Chinese version of the Western.
Yeah.
A lot of them have the same sort of theme. So this is from the press release. James Brown, if you're not familiar, he is the head honcho at Black Label Trading Company. This collection is something I've wanted to do for a long time. I've been rolling various blends in this pyramid size for the last 12 years for myself. It's finally time to do a production release. The vibe I wanted was an old school kung fu movie, and the Five Temples 7-Star Fist of Shaolin definitely has that feel. The concept was to create a collection that not only introduces a new vitola for the Bees and Hornets, but also showcases different wrappers. Each cigar is a unique representation of the blends, and the pyramid shape symbolizes the form of a Shaolin temple. The icing on top of all that is the 2 new versions of the Shaolin. Overall, I think this is the most exciting collection we've done for Blackworks. So, that is what we're smoking. So, now that everybody's kind of on the same page, why don't we talk about our individual sticks and what we're, sort of experiencing. So, I've got the Green Hornet, which the normal expression of this is strong, punchy. I think, I can't remember about the graphic design, but I know it's definitely paying tribute to the TV show, which had martial arts in it. This one is the Mexican San Andres. So, what would you expect from a Mexican San Andres? And this, by the way, a pyramide shape, at least in this size, because theoretically you can make it bigger. But it's really punchy, like a Lancero, right? But what would you expect with a Mexican San Andres wrapper?
You'd be looking for some pepper.
Yeah. A little bit of nuttiness, coffeeness to it, chocolate.
I don't get a ton of pepper if it's Maduro aged off of Mexican San Andres Negro. I do get dirt. I do get a little bit of coffee. Mostly dirt. But, it's good dirt.
Yeah.
So, interestingly, this stick is, really strong to the point where it doesn't scream like Mexican San Andres to me. It kind of drowns it out. But the major flavors are earth and pepper and leather. Other than that, I would say that it's hitting my palate kind of like a barrel-proof whiskey, where it's just so strong, it's kind of deadening the palate a little bit. But it is good, If you're the kind of guy that can't wait to pick up your Padron 1926, this is going to be in your wheelhouse. So, what are you smoking, and what are you tasting, Angel?
All right, so I'm smoking the Habano Ecuador. Get back to this real quick. The
So you got
Shaolin Habano Ecuador Maduro. So.
Okay, so that's the Shaolin. And apparently the blends on the inside are the same for these cigars, and it's just the wrapper. It was changed for the kit. And you have a double wrapper that is Ecuadorian Maduro and Habano. What are you picking out?
So It's got this sweet, not like sugary sweet, but a sweet taste to it.
Typical Habano wrappers, right? And
like
of course Maduro as
Mm-hmm.
well.
And then like a nutty, like some weird nuttiness I can't peg yet, right at the end of the nostrils. And then it, like you said, it's punchy. It bites like in the back of the palate as well.
Yeah.
Like I can tell. I don't know if it's gonna get stronger. It might get stronger. We'll see.
Yeah. I know when I smoked the Killer Bee, I was glad that it's a very small Vitola, and I was glad when it was done because I was like, if this goes another half inch, I'm gonna be hurting. Yeah.
Did you have that nicotine tingle?
No, but it was just strong. Like harsh isn't the right word, but strong.
Because that's what I'm getting. Like this is pretty strong. Like it's good though.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting. I wonder if this was like a bigger and longer Vitola, it'd probably kick my ass. I'm not there yet.
Yeah.
I'll let you know here in
Yeah.
another half inch.
Yeah. Tom, what are you smoking? What are you getting?
I am smoking the Killer Bee Connecticut Pyramid. Little bit of white pepper, fair amount of kind of nut and dry barn earth, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's interesting. It is stronger than it tastes. This is a hefty cigar.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hesitant to put a number to the strength of it because
Yeah.
sometimes I'm thinking 6 and sometimes I'm thinking 9.
Yeah.
In the same puff.
Yeah, it's definitely like oscillating. Like it's just very.
Oscillating.
It's weird. It's kind of cool. I've never really experienced that.
I think that's a hallmark of this blend for Blackworks. So I've smoked the Green Hornet and the Killer Bee. I've never smoked the Shaolin outside of this sampler pack. And one thing that I took away from both of them was they were surprisingly like nuanced and complex. Danced around a lot, despite the fact that they were incredibly strong.
Yeah.
Cigars. So, and I'm getting the same thing here. Like, it almost hurts certain parts of my mouth, but it's not harsh. It's just really strong.
Yeah.
All right. So, Blackworks Studio. The 5 temples, 7-star fist of Shaolin.
Yeah.
So, I didn't do research for this, but I wonder if 7-star fist is a real thing or if he just made it up.
I think it's the 7 rings, right?
I don't
Or is
know.
it 10 rings?
I don't know. The 5 temples is real. It's a legend. Like, there's one Shaolin temple, and the legend is there was 5 at one point.
Right.
And there's been a couple of, like, martial arts movies about, like, reuniting the 5 temples or something. So I'm aware of that legend, and so I wonder about the 7-star fist or whatever. So that's what we're smoking, and I guess it's probably fair to say to everybody that they're all strong.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's what Blackworks is sort of famous for. By the way, the MSRP on this box is $312, which comes out to $13 per stick, and the number 7 features in this sampler as well. There's actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cigars in here. And I don't know, I guess because of 7-star fist or whatever. But they put some detail into it, put some thought into it. I love the graphic design on the box.
I do, yeah.
I don't know the significance of the
Symbol.
honeybee and honeycomb on there. This is obviously the shape of a cell in a honeycomb.
Yeah. Well, it's the the Killer Bee series.
Well, there is the bee. Hornets don't make honeycombs. But and the Shaolin is the temple. So I guess the hornet is just the odd guy out.
Yeah. Because theirs is like more circular than it is like hexagonal.
Is this a kind of like limited release where you have to carry the full line of Blackworks and then you get the option to get this?
No, it was, however, probably the biggest buzz at PCA 2025 because it was new and there wasn't a lot of new stuff this year. Yeah. So they had it like available to purchase at PCA, but not to buy. I mean, you could give them your money, but you didn't get any cigars. They only just started shipping them. And there's only 1,000 boxes, so a lot of retailers did line up to kind of get their spot.
We have one of 1,000 right here.
Yeah, now there's only 999 left. Hell yeah.
Are they individually numbered, the boxes?
No, it's not really. It's not really that special, and honestly, at $13 a stick, it's not priced extravagantly either. The like seal sticker on the side of the box does have a list of what's inside it. So there's 4 Killer Bee Sumatras, 4 Killer Bee Connecticut's, 4 Killer Bee Connecticut broadleaves, 4 Hornet Pennsylvania broadleaves, 4 Hornet San Andres, 2 Shaolin Candela Ecuador Maduro, and 2 Shaolin Habano Ecuador Maduro. Those are both bellicosas.
It is just serial numbered. That's about it.
Well, that's just the box stamp.
Okay.
So, but great design. Love it. Put some thought into
You
it.
can definitely hang that up.
24 count overall.
Yes.
Yeah, 24 count. Yeah, I agree. Like the lid, this would be cool. Like in your cigar lounge, you just hang that on the wall, and it's totally different.
Oh, it's dope.
Yeah, it stands out. So, I think that they did a great job. And given the kind of difficulty of rolling these vitolas and the packaging and the unique box and everything, $13 a stick is pretty reasonable.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's for a Robusto, that's like the break-even price, right? So that's pretty cool. Why don't we go ahead and do socials and surprises? Of course, you are our marketing plan. That's right. Like, share, subscribe, reach out, burnlinepodcast@gmail.com, or go to the show notes below and click on the link tree. And if you click on the contact us, that'll throw an email up there, and we would love to hear from you. Let us know what you like, don't like, what you'd like to hear on the show, or any questions. And you might be featured, like Jerry this week, who wrote, "What is the most underrated pairing with cigars?" That wasn't the whole email, but that was the gist of the question. And I thought that was an awesome question because it's so open-ended. Mm-hmm. And so I'm going to answer it my way, and you guys can answer your way. And so, Jerry, what I'm going to do is the most underrated pairing with cigars. I'm going to go with like a class of beverage and just say tea, hot tea. Mm-hmm. Hot tea is to coffee what pipe tobacco is to cigars. That is to say, you can get a lot of different flavors and stuff with coffee, mm-hmm. but unless you're getting disgusting flavored coffee, it's a little limited, just like cigars. Whereas tea, just like pipe tobacco, there's a broad range and it's super affordable. Mm-hmm. And so finding a tea to pair with your cigar is actually really easy. And because tea is, made from dried vegetables, when you heat it up, it releases oils, which typically float to the top. You should see a little sheen mm-hmm. in your tea. And what that oil does is it coats your palate. So when it coats your palate, it actually can change the flavor of what you're smoking. And so it takes some effort and experimentation, but I love pairing tea with cigars. I think it's probably the most underrated. Everyone thinks about coffee. Everybody thinks about whiskey. Mm-hmm. But tea can be a fantastic pairing with a cigar. So that's my take on it, Jerry. Angel, what do you think?
I agree with what you said, and mine is you can actually pair soda with cigars.
Okay.
Creamy end, regular Coke or Mexican Coke, because Mexican Coke does have more flavor than regular Coke. So you can mess around with that, because there's actually so many sodas besides your core line sodas, like any Coke product or
Pepsi
there's
product. A lot
like,
of
there's so many you can choose from.
What do you call it? Like boutique,
root
organic,
beers.
Root beers.
What's that one from PA that everybody likes? It's like a root. Something beer. But yeah, sassafras as well. There was that sassafras cigar that they were like, try it with sassafras soda. I don't remember the name of it.
Or sassafras tea.
Yes, sassafras tea. Correct. And that's something you can do with sodas, It's like you said, it's not just alcohol and coffee. Like, there's so many things you can pair,
Tom?
I certainly was going to bring up the hot tea aspect because there's another million flavors you can add. Drinking a warm beverage, I think, is also helpful for kind of cleansing the palate.
Yeah.
Sodas of love, there's a wide variety of those. I tend to stick with the Mexican varieties because they do
have real
much
sugar.
More flavor.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I hate regular Sprite, love Mexican Sprite.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there was a weird pairing that I had a while ago. La Dueña with hot chocolate.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, because La Dueña is like nutty and hot chocolatey as it is. And you drink it with hot chocolate and it's just like flavor burst. It was crazy. So if you guys have access to that, I recommend it.
And shout out to our new subs on YouTube, Chaim Katina and DJ Pat Unboxing. Thanks for subscribing to us on YouTube. Every time you like, share, subscribe, YouTube, Spotify, you can leave a 5-star review on the show. You can leave comments if YouTube has them enabled, et cetera, et cetera.
Right,
that does, it helps the word get out because we are fighting an uphill battle. You know, Meta and Google both have just ostracized tobacco products, including fine cigars. So we appreciate you helping out. And, you know, this is your show. This is a consumer podcast show. So, you know, don't be shy.
Yeah.
Shoot us a DM on Insta or Facebook, or your best bet, burnlinepodcast@gmail.com. And we will make this even more of your show. So, having said that, why don't we go to break? When we come back, we will do our tobacconist tip of the week. Don't go away.
Perfect.
And now your tobacconist tip of the week with Angel Solorio. And we're back.
And we're back. All right, tip of the week. I think it'll roll perfectly with our subject today. So, it's not necessarily how to take care of your cigar or whatever. It is have convos with people that are like really interested or just curious about what you're smoking or what you're doing. Because I got to have this interesting conversation with one of our coworkers, and he was just asking me a bunch of questions related to cigars, and it's actually kind of fun, you know, because it's not like there's more to a cigar than just cutting and lighting. There's, you know, the story behind them, how they're made, you know, et cetera, et cetera. And that's one way. So I think so far I got 2 coworkers interested in smoking cigars because of the convos that I had. And it's a good thing, you know, I'm not getting anything out of it personally, besides the friendship or whatever, but as far as monetarily, I'm not. But it expands the hobby, you know, it opens the hobby to other people, you know, you get the convo going. And right now, cigars are on a multi-front battle. Social media, government regulations as far as federal, state, and local, you know.
Taxes.
Just, you know, cigars are fighting a multi-front battle, and we're the soldiers. So, you know, expand the army by expanding the hobby. And, you know, talking to people like, hey, it's not just burning stinky sticks.
Yeah.
There's more to it. So that's just my tip. Have a convo with somebody. You know, if they're curious, talk to them.
All right, and before we jump into our topic, Tom, looks like you've provided us with some Shield Egg.
We have
Islay.
single malt Scotch whiskey, Islay, 80 proof. But this is always very pleasant and smooth. I think you can always pull out a little fruit notes, little oak notes. You know, it's just a complex flavor, and it's fairly affordable. I want to say in the 30-ish range.
All right.
You know, anything that's quite drinkable for $30, I'm in.
Yeah, if you don't like Islay, try this.
Yeah.
This is the most Highlands-esque Islay I've...
Here's to us.
Cheers to us. May we continue to be awesome. Okay, this is going to be interesting.
It's really good.
To see how this pairs. So you guys tell me, I got a huge sting on my lips from that. I think because my wrapper is really spicy. And when the alcohol hit it, you know.
Yeah.
just got this burst of pain. How about you guys?
Agreed.
Yep.
Same?
Amplified what the cigar's doing.
Mm-hmm.
I tell you what, it is fruity as shit.
Yeah, Shield Egg is the dark horse for me of the scotches because it drinks like a Highlands.
Ooh.
You can tell it's an Islay, but it's not an Islay like, I don't know, Lafroig or something.
Yeah, I kind of think they go get the mountain water and bring it over.
Yeah. All right, so we are talking about Winter Fellowship today, which is pretty fitting. We're, getting close to Thanksgiving, and we've got a few tips and tricks for Winter Cigar Fellowship. Now, last night I had a little Winter Fellowship at Jeremy's, and if he had taken some of these tips, it would have been a better experience. But I actually brought this sampler, and everybody took one, and we kind of sort of sampled them and said what we thought. So let's start with indoors, right? So typically this time of year it gets cold, at least in our neck of the woods, and one of the things you're probably planning for is to smoke indoors. So I know I've got a little back porch with a fire pit and a chair, so I smoke outside a lot. Tom, I know you've got your yard gars, and your mowing.
Well, and I started off like a lot of guys who, we used the front porch of my house until it was one really, really cold January night. It didn't matter how many fires and heaters we had. We moved to the garage. Instant improvement by 50, 60 degrees.
Yep. And Angel, you probably have a little smoking spot.
Yeah, the backyard.
Yeah.
Fire pit. Sometimes it's just a losing battle. If it's below 30, you're just like, nope, I'm out.
And so we typically have a urge or necessity even to smoke indoors. So what are your options? Well, the first obvious option is your local cigar lounge.
That's right.
Now, keep in mind, the flavor, the ambiance, the zeitgeist of the lounge changes throughout the year. And one of the things that I've run across in winter is if it coincides with football season, it can be really busy. Mm-hmm. You might be used to going to your lounge and you're one of one or two guys in there, and you're doing your accounting homework or something, and then all of a sudden you go in on a Saturday and it's early December and you have 34 football fans being crazy, and it doesn't feel like the same lounge, right? So if you're planning on getting together with a group of guys at a lounge, do a little bit of spy action, figure out where you want to go. There are lounges that cater specifically to football, for example, or what have you. Sometimes it's organic, like you just end up with a group of guys in there that they're all NASCAR fans, so on Sunday stay out.
Yes, yeah. Or whatever sport. I do have a.
Talk to the owner.
Yeah.
Maybe they've got suggestions. Maybe he's willing to say, all right, you're bringing in 6 or 8 guys for a private party. I'll make sure you have a quiet zone to yourself.
Yep.
I got a question for you guys, because you guys definitely, maybe more so you experienced this than I could, because it was way gone. Do you guys ever smoke cigars in the restaurants?
No, that was before my time.
So that was way long gone before you.
Absolutely, I did.
Yeah, but by the time I could smoke legally, that was gone.
Oh man, really?
To the point where Westminster in the 80s, you always ended up at Pizza Hut.
Yeah.
And there was always a line to get into the place. Light up a cigar in the line got shorter. I put the cigar out when it was time to sit down, but back in the day, John would be in the smoking section, you'd be in the non-smoking section. No wall.
Right. Yeah. Just a little placard.
That worked out so well, didn't
it?
Yeah. Because I remember, like, in the early 2000s, people were still smoking in some restaurants. Like,
yeah, it depends on where in the country you were and stuff like that. I remember back in, like, the late 80s, early 90s, they still sold leaded gas at the gas station in West Virginia. And
it's crazy.
That's because half the cars in the neighborhood were from the 50s.
Yeah.
People didn't buy new trucks, where I came from. Well, and it was the same with smoking. They were still cigarette vending machines up into the early 90s and, all of that. So lounges is an option. And, the guys, you usually hang out on your back porch. Well, you could set up an outing to a lounge, right? The second indoor is homes. So somebody in your group might have a indoor spot to smoke at their home. Now, Tom, you have a really nice barn lounge.
After that cold night, we turned the garage into an indoor cigar lounge. We've since moved on. Separate building is better because of the air. If you have a cigar lounge in your house, the air needs to 1,000% be separate air.
Separate air handling unit. Yes.
For sure.
Fresh air in, bad air out.
Yep, and not connected to the rest of the house.
Yeah, you do not want that smell going into the house.
Yep. Yeah. So if you're part of a cigar smoking group and you normally, meet outdoors or something like that, there might be one guy in the group that has indoor smoking. Maybe it's a garage or a, separate building.
Enclosed porch.
Enclosed porch. Yeah, something like that. Now, the problem with that guy is they're going to feel taken advantage of because you're always going over to their house. And
we are.
Yeah. And so, just be polite. For example, bring a gift. You can bring a bottle of something to drink or whatever, and just, keep your emotional intelligence sharp. You don't want it to feel like everybody in the group is just taking for granted, hey, this guy's home is ours now, and we can just go smoke cigars there on the weekend, right? So, as usual, be a gentleman. You're smoking cigars, not weed, so act like it, right? And then, of course, the last little indoor tip, convert that old shed. I've got 2 that I could convert if I wanted to, if I wasn't so lazy, I should say. But there's a good chance you have a garage, a barn, a separate carport, something like that.
An outbuilding.
Yep, outbuilding that you could convert. Consider that. Now, you can go the route of buy the cheap 2x4s, and look, if you're going to do this, go ahead and get the table saw. They're like $300 for the cheap one. Rip the lumber down so it's actually straight, But just put up balloon construction and sheetrock, and if you're in a room this size, you're talking about $300, if that. That's retail prices for drywall and balloon construction. Yeah. Don't take the drywall down to the ground. You don't want to soak up moisture or whatever. Yeah. And you can just make the inside look nice.
Yeah. You can make it fun too. Get the guys over to help you out.
Yeah, totally. And if you want to go the $300 route instead of the $180 route, get your R18 and put it in the walls. Yeah. And it'll hold heat, and you can heat it up with body heat.
Yeah. Absolutely.
You won't even need a heater.
A great little easy way to heat. The little canisters, sterno canisters.
Sterno, yeah.
In a 2 clay pots turned upside down on each other. You fire that up, that thing will heat a 12 by 12 room in a half an hour. Toasty.
Yep.
Nice. I'll have to try that.
So those are some options. Indoors, plan on smoking indoors. The second sort of tip that we have is plan ahead, right? So the difference between smoking on your back porch and smoking in a designated destination, like a lounge, is that your flexibility is limited, right? First of all, there's the travel, right? Now, when I went over to Jeremy's, we're all within a couple miles of his place, right? And so you can get away with a lot. Mm-hmm. But if we were going to the nearest lounge, we would all be driving at least 30 minutes, right? So you got to plan ahead a little bit. And specifically, you got to think about inclement weather. So if you're planning a cigar party at a lounge, remember, it is winter, and in our neck of the woods, it snows, stuff like that. Now, I'm probably okay with my Trail Boss. Put that sucker in 4-wheel drive. But not everybody, drives a tank. And it also affects, like, roads and, how accessible they are, and is there somebody stuck in the middle of it with their flashers on?
And holidays as well, by the way.
Yeah, and holidays and holiday traffic.
Yeah.
Traffic tends to get, in this area, traffic gets really bad when the weather's bad. And even, like coming here, I can't really not take back roads.
Yeah.
You know, our neck of the woods, like, the towns are separated by old wagon trails that got paved at some point, and they're all uphill and downhill and around farms, and, you know, all of that. So, you know...
It'd be a good place for a road someday.
Yeah.
No civil planning whatsoever. Way to go, guys.
It wasn't a civil. Right? Civil was like two German dudes whose farms were next to each other.
Yeah.
We'll put the road in the middle between the two farms. Another thing to plan ahead for is auto safety, right? So if you're driving, you know, all of the basic stuff like making sure that you have flares and maybe some ash or something to put under your tires and a thermal blanket in case you break down and it's cold out, you know, all the way to your driving habits and, you know, all of that, that goes with the territory, right?
Like you said, at least this isn't Minnesota where you could probably die on your way to work.
You do, right? Like, you have to have an emergency kit because if you break down on the way to work, you could die before you get rescued, you know? And then the last thing, you know, with planning ahead is all of your stuff, right? So if you think about it, if you are smoking on the back porch, cutter, lighter, stuff to drink, like you can't even necessarily when it's the middle of winter, oh, I'll just swing by and grab something to drink. Can you? Does that add 40 minutes to get into the shopping center that has the alcohol?
Right.
So that you can, and then it's closed because the owner couldn't get to work, couldn't get out of my driveway.
Right,
you know?
correct.
And so part of planning ahead is just, okay, I do have all of my accoutrement. I got, you know, whatever, right? And as far as cigars go, your lounge should have plenty, but never hurts to stock up. You know, tell your local tobacconist, hey, I want a box.
That's right.
You know, Tom, do you build a box?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, you get to 20, it's 10% off. It could be 20 different ones. That's a box.
Yep. So here at Tobacco on Main Street, you don't have to buy a box of one thing. It's like when you go to Giant and you select the individual 6-pack beers. Yeah. Same thing. You select any 20 cigars. Tom treats it like a box, and he'll give you a box discount for buying those sticks. Yeah. Doesn't hurt to stock up.
How many places offer that?
Especially if you don't want, you know.
Beyond silly, in my opinion. Why wouldn't you? You know, build a box is one of my favorite things to do. There's
fun.
very few cigars that I want 20 or 24 of.
Yeah.
But there's a lot I want 4 to 6 of.
Right.
Yeah. Well, you know, the other thing worth mentioning is I don't ever get cigars delivered in winter because it's just too tough on the cigars, you know. Sometimes they get ruined. Sometimes I can recondition them, and it takes days sometimes.
Yeah, seriously.
Summer's the same problem. They cook in transit.
Yeah, but at least it's a little safer in the summer than it is in winter because you could literally have a box of cigars with all popped wrappers, and then you're fucked.
Oh, I have cigar shop owner friends. They get their UPS delivery.
Yeah, which sucks.
And some of them, ruined. But I remember the one guy. You know, this was Illinois. It gets really fucking cold in the winter, and the UPS guy would bring the boxes in, and he would leave them by the door.
Yeah.
And then the next day, he would move them back towards the humidor. And then the third day, he would put them in his storage area in the back, and he would wait 4 days before opening the UPS box, and he would feel them and make sure they were at room temperature on the outside. And he would open the box, individual boxes, and he'd inspect them, and then he'd feel the individual cigars, because they just showed up in 40 degrees below zero weather on the back of a UPS truck, you know.
And essentially you have to remember these things are sponges.
Oh yeah.
They are very affected by the humidity, the temperature, the whole bit, and having sudden changes, hot, cold, wet, dry, whatever, is a guaranteed explosion.
Yeah. Well, it's like a natural sponge. You take a natural sponge that's dry, and you can just crack it.
Yeah.
Right? Same thing, you know, with a cigar wrapper. So anyway, last tip for, you know, this winter, cigar parties, have a plan B. right? So if you are smoking on your back porch in the summer, you don't really need a plan B, right? If you're all deciding to meet up somewhere to smoke, you do. So have an alternative in case of weather. Now, the alternative might be work canceling. That's legit. Or it might be, hey, we're going to go support our local tobacconist, but the plan B is my shed, right? But think through, how are you going to do that? Do you have a group text chat, something like that? You don't want the one guy who has the fucking Hummer, making it there, hey, where you all at, man? I'm in here, I'm on my third cigar, and everyone else can't get out of their driveway or what have you. So communication. Also have a stash, right? Like, depends on where you're at, but the last thing you want to do is be all curled up with your mulled cider watching the 18th inch of snow coming down outside and you ran out of fucking cigars, right? So have a stash. I'll bet you Tom can help you out with that, so swing on by. And guess what the final plan B is? Smoke outside.
Yeah.
Bitch. Take your cigar out into this.
A day where it's snowing is not awful.
It's not awful.
As long as the wind's not blowing too hard, a 32-degree day next to a fire pit, if you're bundled up appropriately, it can be fun.
But you know what? Just fucking, here's my plan B. I'm smoking outside. I don't care that it's cold.
Yeah.
If you're going to do that, my recommendation is watch your fingers. They can get cold. I have leather gloves that I wear, and I recommend leather. And so if you accidentally burn your leather... Now, like leather driving gloves are perfect because they have more tactile feel. And you can smash your cigar. But you can also get like insulated leather work gloves. But if your cigar burns down and hits the leather, you're going to get a singe mark, and that's it. The leather's not going to catch fire, anything like that. Don't wear anything synthetic, for Christ's sake. Anything made out of plastic is going to melt and stink, and it's a disaster.
I was going to say, I have leather smoking gloves that literally only come out in the winter.
Yeah. But that's always a legit plan B. Put your cowboy wear on and sack up and just smoke outside in the cold. So there you go.
And if you are debating going to a cigar lounge, call and make sure they're open first, because it's coming through my head from the other side of it is, well, there's an advantage to when schools are closed and a lot of stuff is shut down. All right, now you got a lot of guys or ladies that want to come smoke. Can I get there? Can they get there? But then there's also that fine point of, well, no, they can't get there, so there's no need to be open.
Right.
For the two guys in the Hummers.
Right.
Sorry, boys.
Yeah.
Good for you. Bye.
So there you have it, fellas. The Winter Fellowship. How to make it happen when the cold settles in. We're going to go ahead and take our second break. When we come back, we will have our cigar news of the week. Keep your dial locked in to Burnline Podcast. Cigar news of the week with Angel Solorio.
Alright, news of the week. So, speaking of multi-front battles, New Jersey's going to be proposing a bill to raise taxes to 50% for cigars.
Ouch. Fuck you, New Jersey.
They're already at 30%, so that's pretty rough. I would not like that. Man.
They got a new governor, New York got a new mayor.
Yeah.
Be careful what you ask for. You just might get it.
And then La Aroma de Cuba is shipping the Aroma Black.
All right, now, just, for clarity, you're talking about the American brand.
Yes, the American brand. Usually that's what I talk about. I'll say Cuba. But, yes, the American La Aroma de Cuba.
Which, by the way, they make phenomenal cigars.
Yes.
Have we smoked one on the show?
We actually have not.
I think probably we should.
El Jefe is like my favorite. Obviously, it's a big fucking cigar.
Yeah.
So it's got a 6x52 Toro. Made by My Father Cigars in Esteli. I know you guys like My Father's. We just smoked My Father 2 together.
Yep.
They're made by My Father for Ashton.
Yeah, it's interesting because Ashton is basically a Fuente, except La Aroma de Cuba is distributed by Ashton, but they're made by My Father. So I don't.
And San Cristobal's.
Yeah.
All right. So what else have you got?
So let me get into the blends real quick. It is a high priming Ecuadorian Habano. Take your shot.
Yeah.
Wrapper over a Nicaraguan binder and Nicaraguan fillers. So,
Are you thinking of La Gloria Cubana?
Yeah, because there's that one as well.
Probably.
That is General Cigar.
Okay, so La Aroma de Cuba is owned by the Levin family, who also owns Ashton Distributors. It's a collaboration between them and the Garcias, which is, of course, My Father Cigars. So, La Aroma de Cuba, the brand, is actually owned by the Levin family. Ashton Distributors is owned by the Levin family. And so if you were to put this into like a hierarchy of who owns what, then La Aroma de Cuba is not technically owned by Ashton Distributors. It's technically owned by the owner of Ashton Distributors. But it's fair to say that it's in Ashton.
Yeah.
And like so many cigars, it's a jobber arrangement.
Yes.
All right. Cavalier Genevieve ships the final installment in their project Broadleaf. It's called the Cow Rider.
Cow Rider?
So it's a knight riding a bull, but they call it the Cow Rider.
Okay.
So interesting. So it's 6.5 by 50 Toro. It is a Connecticut broadleaf wrapper, Connecticut shade binder, and filler from Honduras, Indonesia, and Nicaragua. So it's a triple.
Cow rider, 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 take me to the field. Cow rider.
And next?
Yeah, and it's gonna be
With my apologies to David Bowie.
yeah, it's being wrapped in being made in the Fábrica Centroamericano de Tabaco in Honduras. So I guess it's safe to say it's a Honduran cigar almost, but it does have Nicaraguan and Indonesian tobacco. Unless
But I mean, it's one of those like, you have a factory in Nicaragua. It's a Nicaraguan cigar, but the tobacco's from all over. That's just, that's modern cigars. Puros are intentional and, depending on where you are, hard to make. Nicaragua is one of the few countries with enough microbiomes that you can grow great wrapper and binder and filler leaf. Even like Ecuador, it's so valuable for the wrappers. They're just growing wrapper leaves.
Yeah. So that's all I got. Just a short one today.
All right, good. So we are smoking the Five Temple 7-Star Fist of Shaolin Blackwork Studio sampler, and of course we didn't get to sample all of these cigars. I will, and I'll fill everybody in. I will tell you, I have definitely got a nicotine buzz. This is a strong fucking cigar. And I am smoking the Green Hornet San Andres. Why don't we go ahead and wrap up our experience and notes before we go into the actual ranking. For me, very strong cigar. If you like strong cigars, this is a great cigar for you. Yeah. Those aren't typically in my wheelhouse. I will say that I'm delighted by the nuance. It really has been dancing around and stuff, and even though it's hard to pick up on special flavors because it's so strong, it's enjoyable and changing. I would call it complex.
I think they took Muhammad Ali's quote a little too seriously.
Yeah, dance like a butterfly, sting like a fucking...
jackhammer.
Like a rhinoceros, But anyway, so that's kind of my experience. I would definitely recommend this to anybody. If you like strong smokes, you got to try it.
Not a breakfast cigar.
No, don't start your day with this. Angel, what have you got?
Yeah, I agree, man. Like, it's hard to peg a flavor because it's so strong, but there's like just so much going on. It's like, holy shit. Every puff is almost different, and it's always ends like with a punch.
Yeah.
So it's like, damn it, there's an actual Shaolin guy like punching me.
Tom?
I'm going to throw down that this is Cubanesque in the manner of Cuban cigars are, a great Cuban tastes like a mild cigar, but it can be a full-bodied cigar. This tastes like a 6. This is a 9 to a 9.5 power cigar.
Yeah.
And a lot of intricate flavors. It's kind of like a 3-day-old soup.
Yeah.
Where you're digging into the layers. You're not, there's the medley, there's the amalgam, there's the individual flavors, and it moves all the time. This is a really fun cigar.
Yeah, like taking a Cuban and turning it up 2 or 3 notches.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I think they knocked it out of the park with this. So why don't we start with presentation? I fucking love it, and I love the fact that we got some pyramides. Like, those are hard to find nowadays.
Yeah.
I do like smoking them, even though it looks like something you'd hollow out and put weed in. But it's not made out of bamboo. But I really like the presentation. What do you guys think?
I agree. I'm going to give it a 10. I didn't see it full, obviously, because you did the test smokes. But, I mean, the presentation inside and outside the box is pretty cool and unique.
Tom?
Yeah, I'm going to go with that. Unusual box count with most of it 4 of and then some of it 2. Mm-hmm. And I just, as a consumer, I was like, why not make it 4 of all? Because 2's really not enough.
Well, because it's a 6-sided box. That's why.
If you smoke your first one at the wrong time of day, and you're like, oh, well, this was good, I want to give it another whirl. And then you do smoke at the right time of day. Oh, this is awesome, and now I'm out.
Yeah. And the aesthetics of the cigars are like just visually appealing. Just
the individual cigars are very
there was
beautiful.
absolutely nothing wrong with the leaf, the burn, any of it.
Well, that brings us to construction. Mm-hmm. So we'll go with a 10 on presentation.
Agreed.
Construction, I mean, there is the inherent challenges of smoking a pyramid.
I didn't smoke one, so I can't.
Well, it's just when it gets down to the bottom, it kind of like you leave a little bit longer cigar than you're used to.
It starts getting a little hot.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it gets hot. But that's inherent in the Vitola. Mm-hmm. So I've got a 10 for construction. Everything about it was basically perfect.
10.
I'm going with a 10.
Okay. That one was kind of easy, I think. All right, now $13 a stick. Now, these are a little special. They are hard to get, even though they're not priced or presented as like, limited edition, numbered. They don't have that huge price markup like the Don Pepin Garcia that we smoked the other week. $13. What do you think?
I don't think it's bad. I want to say a 9. Because I want to say a 9.
It's a great price point. The relative unknownness of it, though, because, other than kind of a one and done run, you'd have to buy 5 or 6 boxes of those to get guys to liking them.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the downside of being a boutique is.
Yeah, it's like a Trojan horse. Like you buy and sell these so that they'll buy the regular ones. Mm-hmm. That you can actually get your hands on. I think for a retailer, there's a little challenge there. But at $13 a stick, I think I'm 7 or 8. For a pyramide of this size, 13 is the going rate. Mm-hmm. But I think you're getting more than the going cigar.
Yeah.
I think these are a little unique and special, and they're very delicious. The only barrier there for folks, I think, is strength. There's some folks that this is just too strong of a cigar, but it's very enjoyable. So I think 7 or 8. Angel, you said 9?
Yeah, but I think...
So you think it's a really good value?
Yeah, and also with what you just said, I think I could agree on an 8.
Tom?
Yeah, I'm gonna call it a 7, even though I don't want to. I'd like to give it a higher number, but the limited edition and awareness aspect of it is, by the time you find it, push it, discover it, it's gone.
Right. So as a retailer, you could probably sell these for 20 a piece.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, and you'd make more money because it's not like you can make money on repeat sales because there's no repeat.
Well, and of course the goal is to make money, but I would more do it as the point of let's make it a little more exclusive. Let's draw in the guys that are going to, and gals that are going to pay a little bit more to have an exclusive kind of one and done appearance.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that brings us to flavor. Very flavorful, nuanced. I know mine was both the strength and the flavor was changing, going up and down. Just really enjoyable. Kept my attention, but doesn't need my attention, if that makes sense. And I think, like I said, the one barrier to some folks is this is a strong cigar, but it's also exactly the right Vitola. Right? Just when you're getting to the point where you're like, wow, this is a strong cigar, it's done.
Yeah.
Right? And I think they nailed that. And they did that with the Killer Bee and the Hornet as well. Like, they're small Vitolas. So I think flavor, I'm at 7 or 8 again.
Yeah, I agree. 8. I had the closed foot with a Candela on it. It had quite a cool flavor blast, and then it was gone. So that kind of sucks. It was like, damn, that was good.
Yeah, I'm going to give it a solid 8 on the flavor. It's very intricate cigar. Love the, when the cigar dances, yes, I own a cigar shop, but if I'm smoking one for pleasure, it better fucking dance.
Yeah.
And this one dances.
Yeah, there's a lot of age on these. I don't know, they're pretty tight-lipped about what's inside them. But clearly the tobacco is well-aged.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So that brings us to experience and a couple of things. The Pyramide, I smoked one outside, and I could only get through the first inch before I had to constantly be touching it up. With the moving air and the cold, it just kept wanting to go out. And then you got the reverse pyramid, where like the inside stays warm and burns, but the wrapper won't.
Yeah.
And so I think you're limited. Like, not a great Vitola to smoke outdoors, similar to Lancero. In terms of price, it's very accessible. Now, I probably wouldn't do a lot of exercise with it. This will knock you on your ass.
Yeah.
At 13, it might be a little steep for a dog walker, a fishing cigar.
Oh, yeah.
Although these days, it's not that expensive for that activity. What you're getting is phenomenal. So I might go fishing with this. Yeah. I don't, I would curse if I dropped it in the water.
Oh, yeah, I would.
But if it's a choice between this or a Quorum, I'm just smoking this.
Yeah. Definitely stay hydrated while drinking this.
Yeah, I think so.
Especially if you're going to be moving around. Like, don't mow the yard in the hot summer.
I would never, I wouldn't smoke it outdoors in the heat.
You'd probably pass the fuck out.
Yeah, it is strong. But I think you can do a lot with it. Now, of course, it's right middle of the road as a gift to a cigar smoker. This is actually awesome because you can't get them. It's special, it's unique, but it's not like, hey, congratulations, you got married either.
Yeah.
So I think the experience is very broad. I'd probably go with an 8, to be honest with you.
I agree, an 8.
I'm going to go with an 8.
Yeah, that strength is
the
little.
biggest knock is, now I'd like a box of these.
No, it's a good point. Like, I would buy another one of these samplers if I can find it, which I can't. They're sold out the places that I looked.
Yeah.
That is a little bit of a drawback. And the secondary drawback that's related is, can you find Blackwork Studio? And I'll bet you most of our listeners can probably find some of their cigars online. And that might be it.
Yeah.
So I remember some at Union back before they went out of business. Other
whenever
than that,
possible, shop local.
Whenever possible, shop local. Yeah, we definitely support the brick and mortars. But I haven't seen them anywhere else.
No.
In this neck of the woods. So, all right. So that brings our total score for the Blackwork Studio, the Five Temples 7-Star Fist of Shaolin, to 44. Mid-40s. That is a really good score.
Yeah.
And I think, I'm not going to speak for you guys, but for me, I would say if you're a cigar aficionado, go buy this if you can. Because you get so many different wrappers and flavors. And the Pyramide construction, which it's just cool.
Yeah, it's rare to find.
If you can't, maybe just pick up a Blackwork Studio and see if you like it. I'd say it's worth every penny for it. So, by the way, unlike some other like limited edition boxes, you can actually find these below MSRP all over the place. They're subject to, You know, there's some big retailers that have standard markdowns on boxes, 10%, whatever. That they just apply it to this, and they won't if it's, you know, a Opus X box or something.
Right.
Yeah. Well, this one, I found it. I think the cheapest price I found was $270.
That's not bad.
Well, I mean that's $10.20 per stick. That's pretty good.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, what? Any closing thoughts, guys?
Yep.
It's got me thinking about carrying Blackworks.
Yeah, right. All right, well, that's all we have for you this week on Burnline Podcast. Thank you so much for joining. Keep it smoky, my friends.